Hello everyone, it is Shay in Silver Lake. It's February 23rd, it's 46 degrees, we have a 19-mile-an-hour wind, and apparently, like, everything is getting blown around. I tried to tie down a bunch of stuff, but it's not seem to working. I don't know what to do about it. We tried tying down my grandson's trailer. As you can see, most of the snow is melted. Oh, and the light finally turned off. About time. Man, look at my... I don't have coffee, but sometimes I fill up this can and water some areas. It's been raining on and off a lot, but mostly I'm concerned with the wind. Bruce does not want to be out here, but if you look, no snow hardly. There's like a few patches. There's a garbage bag. I was looking for that earlier because it blew off. Wow, that got knocked over. There's like it's a angry weather day. I don't want to go for a walk because first of all it's raining, and secondly I don't want to get pushed down. I need something to put in there to hold it steady. There's another bucket that got blown around. Now I gotta find a rock or something heavy. It pushed over a bunch of my stuff over there, and I had to come out and pick all that up. Oh wow, look, it knocked down my shell thing. That's actually kind of good in a way, because that way the shells don't break. I'm really surprised at the umbrellas. Wow, look, ooh, sludgy. Look at all the leaves right here. That's crazy. There's a tiny bit of snow right there. There's a couple patches, and there's a small patch out there by the trees. So I'm wondering if I'll see any deer or anything. We'll come over here and try to look at the mountain. It's just angry out there. Ooh, that kind of looks pretty way over there. So I was trying to think of the beauty of storms. Wow, look, it knocked over my chair over there. And I was thinking, like, you know, what I was meditating on, like, why we have wind. And and the thing that I came up with, look at how far in the mud you sink. Ugh. And I was thinking, oh, all my writing on my rug is gone. Bummer. That was a lot of work last summer. I was thinking the reason why we need wind is to blow seeds and stuff around so that more stuff can grow in different areas. I was thinking that because wind is not my friend. So I was trying to think of friendly things that wind is good for. And I was thinking like that it blows seeds and stuff around and spreads more vegetation to everywhere. And then also blowing the leaves and stuff around to add mulch to other spots where it can give nutrients to the ground, which would make it better for us to be able to grow and for the earth, because each weather has to have like some kind of special purpose for it, because that's just the way that God has made it. Like it's like another worker. So I was thinking that there's that. And also there is beauty in storms if we look at it that way and we don't think of it as a bad thing. And then I was also thinking, oh, my chicken way over there is knocked over too. And so is my, okay, it's there. Boy. And also it gives us the opportunity to be indoors, and we could meditate on reading in the Bible, or meditating on other things that can help, you know, give us a better understanding of stuff. So I was like, that's a good thing too. I had worship till noon, and then I did an extra 3-hour study, just reading and just thinking about the weather and, you know, how good it is that we have the different types. Rain, and it's been raining today, as you can see. It's raining now, and I'm in my umbrella, the dome one. But right now the wind is 19 miles an hour. It's 4 o'clock, and I really waited all day, and I kept looking up to see if it was a better time to do the vlog, if this is a better time, and it just never got better. And now that it's getting worse, I was like, my goodness, I should have did the worst first. Oh, look way over there at Table Rock. You can barely see it. It's like a haze. So I had the boys over. Trevor took our neighbor Robbie, who's a sweetheart, for coming and putting the tarp on my grandson's trailer yesterday in the wind and cold. And then my son, they went snowboarding today in Bend. I think it's Mount Bachelor's where they go. And then, so I had Landon, Edric, and then another friend, Anthony. And usually you see Anthony more in the summer than we do in the winter, because Anthony's kind of an indoor kid when the weather's not good. He's like, he would rather be inside than outside. So we don't have Anthony over too often if the weather's not great. Plus he lives clear over on the other side of First Street, like way over there. So he lives probably 9, maybe 10 blocks away, and he lives the furthest on the outside. And then I would say Jeshua lives the furthest on this side. I don't think that there's any kids past 7th Street. I don't think there's any kids on 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. Now that I'm thinking about it, there isn't. So there's that. And then I also forgot to tell my son that, because there's a girl at the store that I talk to every time I go. Her name's Harley, and she's 20. She's got a permit, but she needs to get her license. So my son and I were going to take turns trying to figure out who's the best teacher for her to help her with her driving test. So I thought I would take her, and then my son would be with us too, and then he would teach her a few things, and we would go back and forth, and then we would also do practice tests. She has her permit, so we don't have to go that. We just have to do practice driving, pretending like we're the instructor, and I'm just gonna get a clipboard and a piece of paper and pretend like I'm checking stuff off. You know, to put like some pressure on her a little bit, so that way when she does go and take the test, it'll seem like, it'll be like the same scenario. Like that's what we want to put her in, is in the same type of scenario. And just do some practice runs with her so that she has a car and she has her permit. But we recently, I don't know why we never asked her before, but I would see her walking and stuff, and didn't even dawn on me. And then my son asked her, "Hey, Harley, do you have your license?" And she said no. And my son was surprised. And so then when he came home, he mentioned it to me. And then I was like, "Oh, well, do you want me to talk to her about it and help encourage her?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think it would be really good for her, because then she could advance further in the job that she has." And so I was like, okay. And then when I talked to her, I found out she had her permit, and she had a little bit of driving experience, but not very much. She drove with her mom to Bend and back. Her mom has quite a few kids at home, and so it makes it kind of difficult to be able to take Harley out to do things unless she loads all the kids in the car. So there's that. And then so I was like, well, we can take you and work with you. And then she told me that she did go drive to Christmas Valley, but when she got over there, she was in her grandpa's car and it broke down. So she didn't get very much experience. So we told her, okay, well, that's not a problem. We can practice with you and you know, give you, you know, different tests. And of course I would test her, and then my son would take his turn and test her. And then that way we could work with her and figure out, you know, what she needs to practice, like parallel parking, just changing speeds, watching for different signs, making sure she knows all of her signs, teaching her to drive in a defensive manner and not offense. You know, you have to pay attention to not just the car that you're driving, but all the cars around you, and to anticipate anything that another car could possibly do, but at the same time keeping a cool head and just being relaxed, and you know, watching her speed, making sure it's not too slow, and also making sure that it's not too fast. So that was my new plan. I forgot that I don't know if I mentioned it the other day when I talked to her. I didn't go walk and see who was working today because the wind is just, and the rain is just too much. I don't want to catch a cold. I don't think I will, because I drink a lot of orange juice, but you know, anything could happen. So she's got a vehicle and she has a full-time job. And if she was able to drive, she could pick up even more hours, because then she'd be able to go over to Christmas Valley and work that store as well as the one here, because they're owned by the same company, and they'll switch them back and forth. So she'd be able to, it's a bigger store, so there's more things for her to learn. And she's been at this one for about a year now. So it would give her like some new things to learn. It would keep her mind stimulated. So I thought that would be something good for her. And she was talking about how she wanted to get more hours. And that's why my son had asked her if she had a license. Because then he could put that opportunity out there for her. But it's, you know, 33 miles from here and 33 miles back. So it would be better if she could drive instead of try to rely on getting rides. And here she just walks to, because the store is like, what, off of 3rd Street? And she lives on 1st. She lives at the beginning of 1st, and the store is at the beginning of 3rd. So it would be, you know, better if she could drive back and forth. And we also want to teach, like, my son also wants to show her how to check her oil, how to listen for if anything might be wrong with the car. He may teach her how to change a tire. I don't know, but with the weather the way it is, I don't see that happening, because but we could show her what to use in her vehicle and how to use them, and also encourage her to get a small toolkit with some wrenches and stuff for her vehicle, just in case something does happen. And then also how to put in, like, I will help show her my emergency kit that I keep in my car. You know, it just has like a sleeping bag, extra gloves, an extra change of clothes, extra pair of socks, an extra pair of shoes, a jacket, water. Like in the wintertime, unless I'm actually traveling somewhere, I don't put food in there. But sometimes in the summertime, I will put in like a can of soup, just, you know, random stuff. Because in the wintertime, it's harder for me to check the dates on the food that I put in there, because food does expire. So, but I'll just show her my emergency kit and explain to her the reasons why I have those things, you know, like just extra stuff, notebook, piece of paper. I can't remember all that stuff that's in mine. I have a hat. Oh, hand warmers. Flashlight. Oh, a north-west-south compass. A whistle. It's all, that's, which is with the compass. It's like the compass, the whistle, it's a pin light, and the can opener, I think, is the other thing that's on it. Which I don't buy the cans that you have to use a can opener with for my car. I buy the ones that you can just pop the top. I keep, in the summertime, I put a little small bag of, I keep a small container of dog food. Because it's not necessarily for my dog, but sometimes when you see somebody who's living on the streets and then they have a pup, I just give them my container of dog food if it's been in there. If when I have it in there. I don't do that in the winter time so much, unless I'm traveling somewhere. Then, like, especially if I'm going to, like lotion, I have a first aid kit in there. I do have to get new Band-Aids, because I did dig in there and get some Band-Aids out, so I need to put some new Band-Aids in there. Things like that. And it's just, and a bottle of Coca-Cola. And the Coca-Cola I just keep because if there's like, you know, there's been a few times in my lifetime that there's been accidents, you know, like out on the road, and I've come across the accident, and they're like, there's like some blood on the road. Coca-Cola is great to pour on top of the blood to help, you know, get rid of it. So, and I do that. I learned that from a police officer in Nevada. There was a horrible accident, and I was second car in line, and I was at a 4-way light, and my best friend is a nurse, thank goodness, and we were actually in her car, and we were leaving my house, and there was a gentleman that was on a bicycle, an older gentleman, and there was a semi truck that was at the light across the street, and the bicycle, we were all stopped, and the bicycle went, and I guess that the guy did not see him, and when the light turned green, the semi went, unfortunately, and it was awful. Oh, and I keep and that's the reason why I keep a tarp and an extra blanket besides the small sleeping bag, because I didn't back then, and neither did my best friend. We didn't have an emergency kit in the car, and we had to take off like our outer layer shirts and any type of clothing and cloth that we could find in order to cover up the gentleman that had passed on the road. And luckily there were quite a few different cars that did the same thing. Nobody had a tarp or any type of thing to cover, and it was awful. And it was that incident that when we talked to the police, because the police talked to each one of us witnesses, it was a horrible accident. And they were opening cans of Coke that was in the back of his squad car and dumping it on the road after they had removed him. And, you know, he told us that kind of thing. So that was a terrible story to tell. Oh my goodness. It's something I just really didn't want to remember. But it's like one of those things that stuck with me, and I just make sure that I have, you know, a few things available. Anywho, oh man, that wind has just tore up that flag. I kind of rely on that flag to tell me which way the wind's blowing or how windy it is outside. Oh, the wind's calmed down a little bit because my trees were bending something awful. But it rained, and it just really got rid of all the snow. Like, you look around and there's just none. There's just no snow anywhere. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog because it is a bit nippy out here. And that's, plus, I need to go in and read something happy. So I was just going to read a little bit more and enjoy the rest of my evening in my nice toasty little house. And I think Anthony has gone home, and Edric, it's just Edric and Landon, so maybe we'll play some Uno. Uno, Uno, Uno. Probably Uno No Mercy, because we really have no mercy on each other when we're playing Uno. Oh wow, look at that. Looks like a swan. I don't know if you can see way out there, but it looks like a swan's head and body in the clouds. Oh man, those clouds. There's something else. Maybe if I walk. Oh, the wind's blowing my swan's head down. So it's not going to be a swan head in a few seconds. Nope, swan's head's over. It was right where that tree is. That short tree. Shorter tree. I guess it's the second shortest tree. But anyway, so peace, love, and happiness. May peace be with you always. And hopefully your weather... Oh, there's the sun. Hopefully your weather's a bit better than mine. I don't know. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So peace, love, and happiness. May peace be with you always. And be kind. Rewind and be kind. Don't forget to like and share with a friend. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.